Call to order the special meeting of the executive and regular council meetings for August 15, 2016. Let's see. Pass a resolution to come out of executive session. Ask for
Motion.
motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Not second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Let's see. Go to the moment of silence and prayer. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Beth, would you please call the roll?
Adequate notice, can you do that?
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating time, place, and meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Gazette and the Express Times and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building.
Councilman Belcaro, Councilwoman McCabe, Councilwoman Redemeyer. Present. Council President Pryor.
Here.
Mayor McCabe.
Present.
Can we get the executive session?
Hmm?
Executive session.
Yes, please.
Council was in executive session for approximately 30 minutes. The topics of discussion were personnel and contractual regarding Phillipsburg High School. The minutes from executive session will be available at such time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists.
Okay, thank you. I think we have an action item on that.
Yes, council needs to make a motion to authorize myself and Beth to take the actions that we discussed in executive session.
I'll make the motion.
Motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Councilwoman Redemeyer.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor McCabe.
Yes. Okay, moving into public comment, agenda items only. We'll open make a motion to open the floor for public comment for agenda items only. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Aye. Any public comments, agenda items only? With the throngs of the public. There are no public comments at this point. Motion to close public comment.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Public. Yeah. We have certain. This is. Well, I guess they're all new business items, right? Response to a letter written by Dan Garrell of 178 Logistics Park. This is a letter that Garrell wrote in response to a letter written by Joe Pryor, and Joe had written a letter on behalf of the council concerning the concerns that the council had for Route 22 traffic as this new logistics park might impact it, but not just in front of the park, going back all the way to 78. A letter has been written. I think we've all been given copies of it. It's gone to you. You've seen it.
I don't know that I have.
No, you haven't seen it. Unless Joe sent it to you.
No, I did not.
Okay, so I guess what we need to do now is to okay that letter pending council review. Is that correct? Okay, I'll take a motion to okay that letter pending council review.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Roll call.
Councilwoman Redemeyer. Yes. Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor McCabe.
Yes. All right, second item is response to a letter from the Illusion Maker. Now, the Illusion Maker gives a show at the school. I think he's been doing this since 2008. Last year, or no, this year, it was not properly approved by the council, and as a consequence, it probably didn't have proper insurance. Is that correct, Beth?
Yes.
Yeah, it didn't get proper insurance. And they didn't send the documentation into the CFO, which would, I guess, is the contract for these type of things, the purchase order. They have been told that the council doesn't want to pay them, and they are appealing that, saying that, they think they should be paid. I think the discussion is it a reasonable expectation from them after having performed the service for 8 years?
I do question that. He says we have worked with Lopatcong Township since 2008. I have no idea if he's done this for the school.
Oh, I don't know.
We have lots of folks who have worked on different things. So I have no idea what that means. I stated 9 reasons last time. It was the wrong liaison. I mean, everything about it was wrong. She greeted him at the school on May 2nd. We had a council meeting on May 4th. Good, what didn't even come up then. I just have problems with this, and I can't support it at this time.
It was all June, right? It was after she had resigned, she met them, that they did the performance.
No, it says here I'm sorry, he sent an email on May 2nd.
And then she met him at.
She met him right, and then when did he actually do it at the school?
I think it said June.
June 2nd, and she resigned June 3rd. So, I mean, this makes really no sense at all. She had several bites at the apple to talk to us, and she, it appears she went out of her way not to.
I would suspect that's not the reason, but
Well,
I think she
it
just thought it
certainly
was a matter of course.
It doesn't say the date.
No,
They did the show on the 2nd. What day did she resign, the 1st or the 3rd?
She resigned on the 3rd.
Okay.
Day of the meeting, yeah.
The 2nd was the performance, but the emails were exchanged on May 2nd. We had a meeting on the 4th. And I remember I was at the meeting last year. Matter of fact, he gave an extra performance. It was an extra, and that was discussed and approved by council. So this is this is not routine at all. This is such a departure from procedure. I hate to penalize a small business, but we're here to represent the taxpayers, not the small business. So.
Isn't this the same one that went to the community day? The illusion maker, was he at community day?
No, I
No.
never hired him for community day. Funny, I job I did.
Did they perform for free at community day? I saw them. Was it community day or the Scouts? It was one of those.
Oh, it was never community day in all my years.
I really don't know. I mean, I just know that apparently he was been around for a while.
Do we know how many times he's done this performance at the school?
I have no clue.
He says in his letter since 08, but I don't know if that's in the
Right.
school. Yeah. I think he did it a lot of, he did it several times.
Do you remember it coming here before last year?
Oh, I do. I remember it being discussed at council. I was here.
Last year.
Yeah.
Not prior to that. I've never,
Then how was it being done for all that time?
you know,
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean it was done at the school. They could have done something.
they could have done it at the school
Elsewhere.
and authorized it at the school, you know, PTA, who knows?
Yeah, he doesn't say, he's not
Yeah, I think
specific.
the thing was that they got paid out of the clean community funds, and that's in the town.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and we can also use that for multiple purposes.
Yeah, I know, but this is a small business. The guy had an.
You know what?
He's done it many times before.
I can't support it.
He had to do
I can't support, this was a mess from beginning to end. He should know better. Donna should know better.
Well, what's our recourse on anything if the procedure isn't followed for a bill or a purchase order to come in? How would we handle if it was anything other than this?
Then you'd ask them to send you a purchase order. That's probably what happens most of the time. Because a lot of times they don't have any bills.
But if it's something that wasn't authorized by council,
It's also coming,
wasn't a necessary
I'm not
thing.
sure this is something that would, if it had been a routine thing every year, something that have to be individually authorized by town.
oh, wait a minute, it comes out of a grant. The council determines how that grant is spent. That grant is eligible to spend a lot of things. We need some trash cans at the park.
Yes,
They're eligible. There's equipment you can purchase.
true, all good things.
I've said enough. I can't support it.
I don't know, but if it was done every year without
But
council approval.
It doesn't matter if you do it wrong every year. Does that mean you will continue?
Well, if you do it wrong every year, that's what people think is the routine, and that's what they would expect.
And this is what stops it.
Well, I think you would.
Hey, you have an explanation for Donna discussing it before council last year and having two
Last year.
opportunities this year and not doing it?
I don't know. I don't know why that happened.
Has anyone reached out to Donna? Has she said anything about?
I'm done. I'm not going to bend over backwards for this, so that's my opinion.
Well, my opinion would be that this guy thought he was getting paid. He's done this for 8 years.
You don't know if he's done it for 8 years.
He says he did in his letter.
No, he didn't. He says he's been
I
involved.
remember from 2 years ago that when Donna got that job for the first time, she was told by, I think it was the guys in DPW that were working with that money, and they said they had to pay it out the Clean Communities money, and that's one of the ways they did it. And they used this guy, and that's my vague memory.
It's not the way, it's a
a
way.
and it was done in the past.
And there's other ways.
Various things,
So-
just a guy to put on a show about the environment for the kids in the school. And he had done it many times before, and you don't want to pay him because, well, you have your reasons, but
Because it wasn't done correctly.
it may
That's
not
very
be
simple.
done. If you can show us that it was done correctly in the past,
No, I don't have to show that.
well, you
I'm here now, I've been here 5 months.
Because-
Your lawsuit talked about things being done correctly, and I don't understand how you can have it both ways.
Going forward, I would certainly agree, but if someone here.
Well, your lawsuit was filed in March.
You're not supposed to talk about that.
I can talk about the lawsuit. You sued us in public.
What?
So,
I don't care to talk about that.
Do we have any recourse between?
The recourse is you cannot pay it. I mean, you can pay it if you want to, but you should still get the purchase order and do all those things. However, you are under no obligation to pay it because
Because it wasn't done properly.
you didn't authorize it.
Okay.
But if we go to court and he shows that we never did it properly before.
You did it properly last year.
Maybe one time, but 5 times before.
all right, if we did it properly last year, I don't know, what do? You skip over that?
I don't know. I think she did, probably was her first year dealing with the matter.
It's not even her, she wasn't even in charge of Clean Communities this year. She said she didn't want it. So what was she doing authorizing him? She didn't even have Clean Communities.
Whose was it?
Pardon me? Maureen had it.
Maureen had it?
So, you want to make your point by screwing this guy over. I don't want to do that. I think we should at least pay the guy and tell him in the future exactly what he has to do if he deals with us again. And I think the next item is the same situation. That someone did something thinking they were getting Clean Communities money.
Well, we don't even know what happened on the next item.
I don't know. I'm just looking at it. But it's here on the list. And, I think we have to, going forward, we must have a better procedure. We must have a more transparent procedure so everyone knows that you have to get the purchase order signed first, and certain things have to go before the council to be approved.
I think we've had that.
We need to get insurance.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to make this the second one, I'm going to suggest we table that because we don't even know who authorized what there. If you read the email, there's no response. She doesn't even say who told her to go ahead.
In the email, Beth, it says you were forwarding it to the council person. Do you know?
I don't believe I heard back from Maureen on it.
Okay, it was Maureen.
I thought she was going to be here. I thought
Okay.
she would weigh in on that.
Okay. And I wasn't here when this came up last meeting. Did she have any knowledge of the illusion maker thing? Maureen didn't know anything about the illusion maker either, correct?
Right.
I don't know if she did.
Well, it was forwarded to her, information was forwarded to her
Right.
about it, but it never came, like the person ran out of patience. To me, it's like the person ran out of patience or time, you know what I mean, and didn't follow through.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they resorted to getting a hold of Donna then, because she was the one
But they knew.
that they dealt with in the past,
Gotcha.
so, but
But that's not proper either.
Right.
no, it's proper.
But we have this all the time. All right.
Well, if we pay one, we're kind of setting precedent on paying the other, right? Since
I
there's,
think we pay.
If the circumstances are identical, but
Number 3, invoice from Diana Dove in the amount of $440 to be paid from Clean Communities grant for performances at the Warren County Fair. Someone want to tell me what that is?
Nobody knows, and that's why I suggest tabling the thing.
Tabling both of them.
Well, we already voted no on the first one. We'd have to bring that back for reconsideration.
Well, no, well, we have a response to the letter to the illusion maker.
Yeah, and what, that doesn't change anything.
Well, then we're supposed to draft a response to his letter. Is that what that means?
I would say you gotta give them an answer.
Well, Mr.
Just
Pryor
say
will
the
give
council
an answer.
voted no. Wasn't authorized by council.
Well, I'm not going to vote for that.
You don't have to vote, you have to make a motion to pay them.
I make a motion to pay the illusion maker. Do we have a second? Okay. So then we'll pay the illusion maker. Item 4, resolution authorizing increase not to exceed $5,000 for Bell Shivas Safalolo, PC, regard to McKay versus Pryor et al.
We previously authorized $15,000. He's built 17. And I think we're close to the end. Friday, we received the notice that the court issued an order approving council majority's request for summary judgment, motion for summary judgment. And unless the mayor appeals, that case is over. So this would bring us to $20,000. I think that would be sufficient to cover what's owed our attorneys.
So are you making a resolution? You know,
Well, I'll make that motion. I'm just explaining it, but I'll make that motion.
Second.
roll call? Oh, I can't vote on this. You don't have,
Councilwoman Redemeier,
Yes.
Council President Pryor,
Yes.
Mayor McKay.
abstain. So you don't have enough to carry it, right? All right. What? How?
He's abstaining because of a conflict as a councilor's forum.
All right. Rally Point. What's that?
That is the rally point up at the park. Mr. Nixon is requesting that we put in a couple of benches and a shade. And Joe, it's over the one side.
I mean, like a shade up in the building, that little building.
In the,
In
like
the
where
canopy.
performers are.
So you don't get the sun.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Kind of, I don't even know, I don't know if it's like the sliding one that, you know, can go to either side depending on where the sun is, or,
The one I saw, I was at Green Acres yesterday, which I think is where the people who built the one, and it's like an awning type,
and it rolls up,
and
okay,
it's on these,
tracks, and they can go to either
almost
side.
like cables.
Right.
So it just goes up and down, like, almost like a garage door, but, you know,
Mhm.
like
But it rolls on its way
like
up.
window blinds, and it's on one of those turny pulley things, like an awning, if you have an awning that comes out.
Right.
Like, that's the one they had. You'd be there yesterday, those dancing.
So, I mean, I think the benches would be a nice addition to that area. Certainly the shade would be a nice addition to that area as well. I haven't spoken to Mr. Nixon. Joe, did he indicate what he thought that was going to cost?
No, he was doing it. That's where,
Oh, he wants to do, oh, okay.
my only suggestion is these things should go through council. Should we approve it so we don't show up there someday and there's a surprise? So evidently they have money for 2 more benches and.
Okay, so he wants to pay for it. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, and sooner or later, we're going to have to develop a protocol.
Right, and we're working on setting up that meeting. I think we're narrowing it down to this Wednesday possibly, to try and hammer some of those details out.
It seems last year we were happy to get the project as a gift, as a donation. Volunteers all work putting it together, but now we actually have to run and manage and operate the thing, and that requires some coordination with the veterans and the council and public works and buildings and rec. So I guess Maureen and Yvonne will be getting together with Bill, trying to reduce that to paper
Mhm.
and bring that proposal back to council, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So we all operate with the correct insurance and the right scheduling and proper coordination.
So I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve him to do the benches in the shade unless anybody has.
Does he have like a picture of what he's going to do? Is he going to submit something?
I-
Or are we going to leave it up to him?
No, I think he said they're just like the benches that are out there. Just like the benches that are there.
Have you seen?
Put a cement slab on either side, but then you got the solid form,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then one on either side, match on an angle, sheet angle.
So it's appropriate to the venue there?
It looks nice.
Okay. All right. Brian has seen them, so,
The benches will match just like those.
Right.
okay. All right. So that's
Is he
your,
getting up the voice where we got all our other ones?
Same bench, same place, same everything.
And who's installing?
I guess we are.
Okay.
All the more important we know then.
I mean, insurance wise,
Right.
I want to know.
Okay.
Okay,
So yes, I'll make that motion.
okay.
And I'll second it.
okay, roll call?
Councilwoman Reddemeyer.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. All right. Last item, approve application for social affair permit for PBA Local 56 for participation on Community Day.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says. They want to
Yeah.
have like a little beer and lamps, is it, or something? Okay. Yeah, they have to actually get it from the state. They gave me their application today. That's why it was late going on. Because they only have about 12 days to get it down to state and back because that's, you know.
Does this mean the beer will be for them to consume, for members of the PBA?
It will
Local.
be for sale.
It's a beer truck, right?
Oh,
It's a beer truck, just like we had it last year and the year before.
Has that always been done through the PBA?
No, last year and the year before it was done by Township.
By what, Beth?
Pardon?
It was done by who?
The township.
Township.
Okay.
And who gets the profit from the sale?
PBA. Is the PBA going to give a donation over?
Depends on how much beer they sell.
Who pays they pay the insurance?
Yeah.
There must be a lot of insurance for beer sales. No? All right.
Yeah, they'll have to actually go through our insurance company and we'll find out what that would be. What they're going to have to put up for insurance.
Okay.
So this is just like the first step.
Okay.
I'll
so-
make the motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Councilwoman Reddemeyer.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Yes. Payment of bills. I do not think I have a bill list.
Yeah, you do. Last,
Behind the emails.
yeah. There's some older bills, there's some bills, you know, for Community Day. Yeah.
These bills are for Community Day?
Yes.
All about fun?
Well, All About Fun is music and, well, you can read them. In the middle, it says what they are.
Wallaby tails for having kangaroos.
Well,
The big one on this list is a lien redemption. So someone paid off
I
the
don't
lien,
know.
and now we have to pay it out.
I've been trying to get elephant and camel rides there for years. Laura doesn't listen.
So it's just,
Right back there, that 11,000 lien redemption, that's somebody paid their lien, and now we have to pay out, so it's just passing through. It's not. That makes that number a lot smaller when you take that 11,000 out.
all right, this bill list is for $73,171.69. Do I have a motion to pay these bills?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Councilwoman Reddemeyer.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Okay, open for audience participation. Take a motion to open for audience participation.
Motion.
Motion, second.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Participation, Brian?
I know you're not gonna agree with me, but that's okay. Back to the illusion maker, they have been used, they've been used a bunch of times. Just listening to the conversations and different things, I kind of feel that the council side failed, the township side, not the company side. They were told by one of your council people to go ahead, and I really think that you should pay that bill. And there should be a letter sent out to whoever passed that, letting them know what we had to do. All right, the company, I don't feel should be punished or not paid, if you want to put it that way, due to our mistakes. I mean, that's just my feeling.
Tell me what you knew about this, Brian, please.
Well, I know they've for years have sent emails to us. Back when Steve was here, they sent emails to us down through. I know they've been used, I don't know how many years, but I know they've been used. Did not know about it this year. I don't know anything about it this year. But, you are 100% correct. They have been used. I think they go into the schools. We have to do so many things for clean communities. That was one of them that we always chose to do, correct?
Well, you don't have to do it. Like Joe said, there's a whole.
Was a whole steps of things, was one we always chose to do.
Only communities money.
Just like we choose to put a stand up at the community day and with papers on it and everything, you know what I mean? It's one of the other things that we choose to do. So they have had a history with us. Do we want to maintain that history? That's up to you guys, you know what I mean? But I don't believe that they failed. I believe they were told by council or some person to go ahead and take that step.
I understand your point on that. My concern is, especially with that second one there,
Well, I don't know about the second.
and I know, and until I know more about that one, I'm uncomfortable making a decision on one, not knowing the situation with the other.
Okay,
Because if it's the same exact situation,
right.
we need to draw a line somewhere.
Right. If we trust that Donna says she approved that, as she said that, then we have to look at it and go, she says that.
Well, I don't think there's any question there. She greeted him at the door. I'll tell you what, I'll make this easy. I'll reconsider my vote on that. I'm still disappointed in the way it was done, and I'd like to go on record in the minutes that we shouldn't be spending grant money without council approval, particularly when it's not even a council person's liaison. But based on Brian's input, and I've had a chance to think about it, I'll reconsider. If you want to make the motion again, Don, or Yvonne.
The second one, I'm still
Second one, I'm going to suggest we just table it.
just, okay.
Yeah, that wasn't even our school. That was
Yeah.
Fair.
the
That's
fair. There's no proof that anyone was talked to.
Okay. I mean, like you said,
So I'd like to find out more about that.
it's obvious that Donna had approved it and
So
nothing there.
I'll reconsider. If you want to make the motion, I'll second.
Okay, I'll make the motion to reopen that.
All right, I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Councilwoman Redmeyer.
Yes.
Council President Thornton.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And when we pay that bill, could
We will send a
let him know that, all
policy
Right.
that states that.
In the
no
future,
approval
right.
yeah.
Now going through the correct channels and we'll tell them.
Well, it shouldn't be hard for him to send the vouchers before he does it.
Yeah, we'll just outline.
Seems like you squeezed that in pretty quick, from contacting her in May to doing it in June.
See, I don't know that we have a hard and fast procedure for these things. I think that's maybe what we need to have.
Well, yeah, I think if we
have
don't,
Hard and fast procedures. And I said this to the mayor, you people shouldn't be doing the work. You should be sending it back to us. If they contact you, you can say, we're gonna put it on, the agenda for approval. But you'll be working, we're just the liaison here. You'll be working with Beth, or you'll be working with Jen as, they'll let you know
I agree,
just
I
what you
agree.
have to do.
I agree.
You don't make the,
we shouldn't be
agreements.
making any kind of agreement or
Yeah, right.
signing any kind of contracts or anything.
Yeah, I understand that things are emergent sometimes, but they can be worked out through email and through the staff. And I'm more disturbed that we had several opportunities to be told of this and we weren't. And it was done by someone who told me who said publicly they wanted nothing to do with clean communities this year. But I'll overlook that. We'll try and straighten this
All
out
right, now,
going
just
forward.
so I know what the procedure is. When I look at the bills that we agreed to pay today, we have bills for Jump the Clown. Did Jump the Clown get approved by the council?
Yes, back a month or so.
Yes, we approved the whole slate of
On the agenda.
things for Community Day. It was like a $5,800 budget.
I was on vacation, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all listed on.
I knew I remembered.
It's all brought to council and approved.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Jump
we
the shop.
did run them down, so we do that.
Well,
Okay.
sometimes these come, as long as the service hasn't been given, if the approvals are happening, if someone submits a voucher and it's submitted,
I thought we just approved an amount, like, you get $10,000 for a community day and spend it the way you need to.
But we did bring every individual contract so far to the council, just so they're aware.
All right, that may be overkill, so I don't know what we want to put.
And is that a different situation than grant money?
it is.
Grant money.
Take this money and use it for this event.
That's town money we're spending here.
Right.
Well, grant money is town money too. Ultimately, it goes through the town.
Yeah, only if you have to.
The difference with grant money is that if you properly use the grant money, council will be
Jeopardize.
held responsible. So
I mean, in this case, it's not
if
improperly.
you gave it to an organization, so you have, rec has a budget, maybe, and, community day has a budget, the environmental commission has a budget, and if they do what's in their budget, that's less worrisome than, you may not have liked how they spent it, but it's less worrisome than a grant where they can come back and say, you shouldn't.
Do we have a
And a lot of
sheet?
that has to do with the board, because you're not authorized, the boards aren't authorized either. That's why these things come to council
Mhm.
for approval.
Do we have a sheet that we use for each of these things, each time someone is getting, that says, all right, you want to hire somebody, fill out all this information, insurance information, or do you just kind of inform on that?
If they just contact Beth, she says, give me your insurance, give me this, and she makes sure that it comes here.
Yeah, like Lori, she's preparing for community day, so I talk to her all the time, and again just today. Make sure you get insurance certificates. Anybody selling food, got to get a temporary food handler's license from county. So,
No,
they come down and they
understand these
check.
are important things and they have to be done. A lot of people think that they're just unnecessary crap, but, you got to do them, right? All right.
Well, like you say, even with our veterans, all well and good, but, somebody does something wrong and gets hurt, who's the
Right.
first line of defense?
You hear it all the time. There was something
No,
about the
we're supposed
American
to
Legion with the
protect
rifles. They made them get insurance. That was the first time in the history of the American Legion they knew how to do it, so they claimed. I know.
Well, it's the way of the world today.
Yes, it is. Okay. All right, then I'll take motions to see no one else running up here. Oh, you have something? Okay.
Lori Cheslow, 12 Meadowview Drive. I just want to make sure that everything's on there because I know we've been going back and forth, and I gave those Vaughn and Joe a list of everything that we had that was going on at the park that we needed payment for. So already on the bills list, I believe this morning you had a payment to Anna Grunt,
Yes.
the Garabo,
Yes.
for Paul Garabo. It should be Deborah, starts with a P, yeah, Brucey.
Brucey.
So those are the bands. I don't know, I had sent it in, but I don't know if I sent it to
It's also Mark Banovich for the.
Banovich. Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, he was just last week.
And
So-
the details is on there.
Wall of details, and then, so that's music in the park. We should be good. For Community Day, and these had already been approved, and now we're just trying to make sure that we get them on the bills list, because I do have to give some of these people a check on Community Day.
Right.
Wall of Details is Eyes of the Wild.
Yeah.
All About Fun, they do need, and I already expressed this to
They're there.
Jen, Patricia, that we need half and half. I have a name for Jump the Clown, because I'm sorry, I didn't have a name earlier. And when I Googled it, all that came up was Donald Trump.
When you put in Trump the Clown, that's...
No, when I put in Trump, yeah, exactly. Bob Shantz, SCHANTZ, and we did receive an invoice in the mail for him, so I'll be giving that to Jen.
Yeah, that's not on the list.
That would be Chump the
That's
Clown.
Chump the
Oh, that's
his
his
real
real
name.
name. Okay, sorry. I thought that was somebody in addition.
One that might have not made the list was Jesse Rivera. There's 350. He's playing again on Community Day, so I would
It's
need,
not on the list.
would I be able to get that approved?
But they said between time, we're allowed.
Yeah, we're allowed to do that, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, if we could have him approved.
Do we have
Then
to make a motion to have that?
No, they're allowed to do something.
we could do some in the middle,
Gotcha,
so we'll
okay.
do that in the middle.
Gotcha, okay.
He was on an original list, but I didn't send it in to Jen to get it on this bill list. For the rally point, we've been talking with Bill Nixon. We're going to meet with him. A couple of things. I know he's looking to get a contract, kind of like the LAA, so that they can use their pavilion, for free. And then we're going to try to figure out a fee schedule for everybody else and determine how to do that.
And I assume we're going to try to model that after what we used for the LA.
Yeah,
Something.
something
Similar,
like
but
that.
different.
Yeah. So this way, depending, like I would say that probably the only thing that would, come over an event for the veterans would be something like music in the park. If we had music in the park there, they should not schedule a meeting on the same night, something like that.
do we carry property insurance on that, Beth? On the rally point?
Well, it will be added.
Will be.
We're just
Be added to our policy.
application right now.
Yeah, I'm saying that's one of the things, things like that should go in there. At some point, that should be
It'll be added.
deeded to us,
Yeah.
and we'll pick
Yeah,
up
'cause
the
it's on our
insurance.
property, right?
So
So,
it's, I don't think it needs to be
No,
deeded.
sorry.
Pardon me?
It's an improvement to your property, so it's yours.
Yeah, but you can own the property and somebody else can own the improvements, right?
You own it.
Huh?
Not here. It's not
Yeah.
on the-
You can't just let people be building stuff in your park and
Okay.
because then otherwise all sorts of things.
Well, I don't know, was that discussed up front?
I don't know.
Yes.
Probably,
He has to take it.
I think it was discussed. I don't know if it was.
I didn't ask that. I asked,
We
was it
can-
discussed?
We'll certainly spell that out.
Yeah.
in the
it's like the
agreement.
LAA. Basically, the LAA doesn't own the fields, but they're saying they
Well,
should
like
get
their
first.
sheds,
Yeah,
their sheds,
the
and
sheds and stuff like that. You wouldn't want somebody else using the LAA sheds.
Yeah, well, I make the point, what if he wants to go and, I don't know, put a rooster on top or something? I mean, that stuff would have to be run
Yeah, they
through
might want to put a rooster up there.
us,
Yeah.
wind vane or whatever.
It might be.
The weather vane, well, whatever, I mean, there's a point where the improvements
Yeah.
should
We'll
go
iron
through
that
you.
all, yeah, they
We
should
can
just go
certainly
through
add
you.
that into the agreement,
Yeah.
understanding that Lopatcong owns this
property.
I
improvement.
think when council approved it to begin, I don't think they realized how quickly it was going to happen, and next thing we knew, the
Yeah.
slab was poured.
Mhm.
And then it
so
was
I-
built,
Yes.
And it was
Yeah.
done, we all saw the article in the paper, so.
Yeah.
including the insurance company.
And so I think that, we've now learned our lesson that when someone asks to do something, we need to tell them, we need to
Right,
not wait until the.
because they might actually get it done really quick. Right.
I've told Bill many times, we appreciate everything he's done in his
Absolutely.
efforts, but we have to take a breath and,
Right.
get organized
Some people
now.
get frustrated because
Yeah.
the wheels of government turn slowly, but.
Yeah.
Very slowly. So that we'll work on and try to get all those little kinks out, similar to the LAA. The music at the park's been going very well up there. It's a very nice venue. The Garabo brothers are playing this week. They're playing at 8 instead of 7 because they have to wait for everybody to get home. After that, Zare has been rescheduled to the 24th. They were the one that got rained out. The 31st, we're waiting to hear from another band. Not sure if they're going to play. Otherwise, on 9/7, we have that Crash Gordon and Deborah Dynamite, and it's in a similar music vein of the Rockabilly, which is actually a big hit. People really liked that last week. Yeah, that was very energetic. The other thing is, I know that Matt last meeting talked about going forward with the recreation. We want to try to do the dedication by riders and stuff so we can get our money in there and have a little trust fund. I know the LAA is also looking to see that we do the same with the field rental fees so that we can put that aside specifically for reseeding of the field. So maybe when it's time to do that for next year, you might even look at putting that in the recreation trust and you can just use it for grass seed. 'Cause I know
Yeah, I'm not as sure that that's essential, but, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about your fundraising activities and how much you raise for the rec committee?
For the rec committee, basically what we do is we send out letters at this point in time. And then Community Day, we sell wristbands so you can do the rides. So we
Yeah.
do typically bring in on that day about $2,000. So far, I think we've brought in about $2,000 in donations for Community Day. Most of that is thanks to Paul Sturbins. But yeah, 1,500 from Paul Sturbins, 250 from Jack Budd. Actually, Councilwoman McCabe, I didn't realize she wasn't going to be here. She donated 100. And then, like I said, we sell things there. We're going to do a silent auction because we can do that without a license. So when we send out letters, some people give us money, some people give us gifts. We can use those in a silent auction to get some money. We do the same thing for movies at the pool, and they get a sponsorship and their name goes on there. So we did pretty good this year. We have a lot of silver sponsorships, which are $150. It doesn't quite cover the movies themselves, but we do bring in at least half back. And then going forward, we are having a Pets of Lopatcong photo contest. We do want to be able to put together a calendar this year and take the proceeds from that and kind of put it towards eventual dog park if we can.
When are those pictures due?
It'll be due the day before Community Day.
What did you say was pets?
Pets of Lopatcong.
Pets of
yeah.
Lopatcong.
The pet can be anywhere as long as the pet resides in Lopat.
So let me understand the trust a little bit. You want to make sure this money you raise doesn't get spent on
This way,
police cars or
right.
something.
Well,
DPW's budget is in the same line item.
yeah, we're sharing a line. We just want to show no.
No, and that can be fixed. I saw that.
Yeah, we don't know.
I mean, we did it verbally. I think we had 30 grand all together. And we talked about 10 grand being set aside
Right.
for.
Which isn't bad, but then we
For
do
us,
bring
but-
in, I don't want it to seem like we've overextended our line
Yeah.
item because we do bring in several $1,000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's part of it too. But we can talk about that as you go for next year's.
Yeah, that will work on. I know in other towns have worked in with the field maintenance. I mean, the overseeding or whatever was just part of the budget. You know, I don't know if you have to go through all that accounting rigmarole for something like that. It's a little different with your,
I just want to make sure,
yeah,
and that's something that, President Les can talk to you about.
yeah.
The LAA is getting ready to formally pull away. I had one more thing for the contract. They want to be able to have the right to post their events on the Township's social media and website like they've been doing, just because that has been a source of information for the LAA, but I can send you a little email on that. They are in the process of moving into the 501c3. So they're operating in both worlds right now. The last bills we sent in at last meeting should be the last ones. We should not be processing any more payments out of here, so we should be able to balance the account soon. We did, when we were trying to do our reconciliation, there was tens of thousands of dollars of deposits that hadn't been posted to our account yet, but John Mooney found one and they're looking for the other. So, and then Bob Bishey, the treasurer, will work with the CFO's office to reconcile any other differences. And then once we think we're at a good point, we'll come in here. And of course, we have to sign the contract before we actually go. I did see something when I was looking through the audit. Under the grants, there was a line that said donations for announcers booth, and there was over $500 in that. Is that money that we're able to actually use? Because they did want to do some improvements to the announcers booth.
I
could show you the
can't
line.
answer you.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because it was
Mayor,
sitting there.
You probably don't.
I
It's
know
like
we
in
have
a
a
grant
lot of,
reserve.
there's a lot of items in there that
Right,
supposed to have been funded, but they never did it.
right. So if you want us to
No.
try to clear that out for you, we'll gladly do that. Because they did want to paint it and they wanted to get a sign because they wanted name the announcers booth. So I'll show you, I'll send you an email with the line item
So
and
send
maybe.
that, and I'll
Okay.
find out from him. He knows which ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
And hopefully everybody will come out for Community Day, August 27th.
I'll be working at the pool.
Oh, fun. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments from the public? No comments? Okay, I'll take a motion to end audience participation.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The next item is adjournment. Take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you for